I'm in the next room and I hear rumbling going on in the next room. I heard a yell and then I heard like a rumbling going on. And I'm like, the only two people up there is my son and that older and the woman that's in the room, filling the hole, this hole for her job because that's what she's supposed to be doing. I guess she was a maintenance person, I guess. So I run into the room and I'm like, what just happened? And she was like, nothing. He just started crying because I took this, or I told him no because he wanted something. And I'm like, but I heard something. And she was like, well, that's what happened. So I'm walking with him, and he looking at me, and he won't let me, he won't let me leave. He won't let us leave until I approach that situation where I needed to. So I turned back around, and I'm like, did you push my son? And she was like, I gave him a little nudge. So I feel like I had a series of nightmares, but there's only one that I can fully remember. And this nightmare was, it had to do with this woman. And I guess they came to come get my car because the payment was due. Um, this other guy ran out the store and he chased me. He chased me down. He was like, when are you going to dream again? I was like, I don't dream. I have nightmares. Um, so I went to this house and I don't know why I went there though. Unless it was my house. It was in my building. Something was being fixed in my building. And there was this girl that was fixing something. She was like patching this hole up in the floor. So she had to put all the dirt in the floor. And she sang these beads. And it was like these beads that was like a crafted beads, a crafted wire. You know those wire things that's fluffy. And you put the beads on it and you wrap it around your arm. And you make bracelets and whatnot. She found one of these when she was digging. And she she gave me one and she kept one. Later on, we went back, I think like probably the next day or something, and she was still in there. And this nightmare is so like disturbing. I don't even want to talk about it honestly, but I need to talk about it because it's been bothering me while I was asleep, while I was going to sleep, while I was waking up from sleep, and while I just couldn't get up because I'm too busy thinking about that scary dream. And I don't know why it's scary, but it's scary because it's just scary. Um, so before I finished that dream, there was some other events that led up to that dream. There was this girl. She was walking. She had like these boots on, this cute skirt or something, and then she had just been basically turned down by a guy that she really, really likes, and wound up being the guy that was asking me if I dream anymore. Um, so she wound up going, storming out the place, and going home. And then she met her friend, and everybody called her a rat, like literally a rat, not like a rat of a whore or this and that and the third, or a slut or nothing. Even though it was referring to her like that, it was also referring to her as a rat, a little animal that stays in the walls, because she actually did stay in the walls. Like she stayed in the walls of the business because she was homeless. And I'm just looking. I'm like, wow, why are you homeless if this is your best friend? Like, why is she allowing you to be homeless? And I was just thinking like that while I was watching a freaking dream. So she wound up. She was talking about what happened with the guy, and the girl was like, talking to her, helping her out. Um, and she wound up leaving. Like she was running down the stairs. She was they was like in a car lot, like where all the cars was parked. So she had to go down the stairs to get to her car, and this guy grabbed her. Well, first he said something to the guy, because it was a guy up there. I don't know how this guy just randomly popped up there, but he was up there like with them, and he was like, the other guy that was standing, he was kind of standing like on the landing of the stairs. So you know how you come down the stairs when you got that landing part, and then you continue going downstairs. So he was standing on that landing part, and he was yelling up at him. He was like, you don't need to be up there with them. rats. I'm like, wow, okay. So then, um, the guy was like, basically, what I just said, like, okay, or something like that. That's what he did. So he did that, and it was like, that's all, that's the expression he gave. And she wasn't coming down the stairs, and he wasn't trying to grab her arm, and she was like, don't grab my arm, like, and she put out this huge knife. Not like a butcher knife, this is like a sword type knife. And he was like, I wish you would hit me with that sword. And then he grabbed her again, and she was too scared to hit the sword, so he wound up knocking her down the steps, and you hear a commotion. I hear a lot of commotions going on, and obviously it led to her. He killed her. I see why people are using the word unalive nowadays now, because just saying those words is kind of like getting kind of, it's like speaking of darkness. I don't know. Think he unalived her? Should I start saying that now? So so then let's go back. So my car was about to get towed. Like they was about to take my car. So I went running out there. I don't even know what I was in. I think I was like, I was dressed, but I wasn't dressed, or like I was in a nightgown or something. And it was like cold out there or something. So I'm running out there to get the stuff out the car because I already knew they was coming to the car. I really didn't care. I guess it was the day of the payment, and every single day of the payment, you would see they was cut. They was like putting caution tapes and stuff around the building because of my car payment wasn't being made. I'm like, wow, so my car payment is making all this happen. So I so I see them taking my car, so I run out there and I go get my stuff to go get the stuff out the car, and it was like this like a whole bunch of, I guess it was a whole bunch of my son's toys and like some coats and stuff like that. I grabbed out of the car. I really didn't have too much of anything. There was also a car seat in the car, but he didn't need the car seat because he wasn't a child or anything anymore, but it was still in the car. So I went and I grabbed that, and then he was like, he said something, and I think this is relating to this recent video I just watched. Just this part specifically, is basically given that feeling I had towards that video that kind of creeped me out because it showed like meats. It was this truth or lie video, and it talked about how meats are coming, like raw meat came back alive, and it was like frog intestines somebody was cooking, and out of nowhere the frog intestines started leaping off the freaking off the counter onto the floor like that. I was like, what the heck? So I feel like that was still stuck like in the back of my conscience. So with all of that going on, that feeling kind of surfaced. That feeling kind of resurfaced. I'm just like, yeah. So when I'm about to speak on this part, you gonna see how it kind of relates to what I'm talking about the like leaping frog. So I'm getting my stuff out the car, and then he was like, "It's droppings in your car." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "It's droppings in your car, rat droppings. Like it's everything is just revolving around the rat. So it's rat droppings in your car." I'm like, so I dropped everything, and I don't know why I dropped everything like that. Like, I think he said it might be like I'm holding it and the stuff that I'm holding because it's not in the car, but there's rat droppings in the car. So I drop everything. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what is you talking about? Like, hold up. Like, I dropped everything, and stuff started moving. Like, the toys started moving. Everything started moving as if it was alive, and I'm just like, okay, you can take the car. I'm gonna leave the stuff on the ground because I ain't taking that with me. You can stay right where it's at, and I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna take my butt back in the house. And he started yelling after me or something like that. But it was cute though. He looked like what did he look like? He was like, but he looked like freaking Maui. He looked like Maui off of Moana. That's what he looked like. He was cute. A white version of. He was a white guy. Um, he sure didn't have the hair like Maui either, but the formation of his body gave like Maui vibes. I'm like, ooh. Okay, so that was the part that was one of the nightmares. These are like it's certain parts of the dreams that's nightmares, and it's just like everything that happened that just it's like a series of like how it emotionally made me feel throughout the whole dream. It's a series of events that's kind of triggering these emotions of like fear, worry, mostly just fear. Like I didn't even know I was fearful of everything. Well, everything that happened in this dream, I didn't know I was so fearful of. So like I guess being around, it actually bothered me, and I didn't even know this stuff bothered me until I was dreaming about it. So the next thing, So we wound up, that's how we wound up being in the house with the girl working on the other room. And let's get back to these bracelets. So these bracelets, it's just like, she gave me one, but when I went in there, I'm like, her arm looked weird. Like, it looked suspicious. Like, I don't know, her arm just looked suspicious ever since she gave me the other bracelet of her bracelet. And I'm like, So then we wound up getting on the topic of beads because of these. And I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of stuff you can do with beads. Like, you can do a whole bunch of different type of crafts with beads and this, that. And then she was like, yeah, I actually looked up what this meant because I guess a lot of people, the people that lived there where she was working or something, or no, the beads that she found was ancient beads, and it was found in the building, and a lot of those people were in that age where they were doing a whole bunch of crafts with beads. It was like doing bead crafts and stuff like that. But what they were doing weren't bead crafts. It was kind of like evil, dark magic towards everybody or anyone. And so she whispered to me exactly what the beads meant. Like, I don't know. I feel like crying because it's rubbing me the wrong way just talking about it. Like, I don't, it's not a good feeling. Like, it's just like, what? So she talking to me about, she's telling me in my ear what these beads meant and stuff like that. And then she wanted to put her beads back on her arm. And I had my bead. I'm looking at my bead like it's in like a bucket with my stuff. And when she walked out the room, I tossed the bead in that hole that she was filling up with dirt. I was like, I hurried up and tossed those beads right in that hole. And I'm like, she ain't gonna see that. She gonna just go ahead and bury these beads right back up where she got them, because I ain't taking this home with me after you done told me that. And I don't even know what she whispered in my ear, but I know what she whispered in my ear. It made me feel all types of discomfort and fear and just, confused. Not confusion, but more so of just discomfort. And I don't know, it just made me feel a certain way about those beads. So yeah, I think that's it. Man, I think that's it. Okay, so that was my dream. And when I say that dream, it was also this other, it's another part of my dream where I had got a cigarette. So I got the cigarette box. I don't know how I got this cigarette box, but I went to the store and I went to the store and they gave me some cigarettes in my bag, and I didn't ask for it. I ain't asked for cigarettes or nothing. So I go, me and my son is like in this yard, and we're sitting down, and I'm pulling out the cigarettes. Well, I'm going in my bag to reach for whatever I want, whatever I bought, and I pull out the box of cigarettes. I'm like, I did not get these, and I just wound up taking one out the box, and I put it to my lips. I didn't even need to light it. I pulled it out of the box, I put it to my lips, and it automatically lit itself. And before I can even draw in a puff, I just tossed it. I'm like, oh, I'm not going that route again. I already know how it tastes. I don't want to know how it tastes. And then, so I'm walking away from the situation. But then this guy, I don't know, I walked around the corner or something. I think this is when I'm talking to the guy that's asking me about my dream or something. And this guy, I guess he wanted to find the cigarettes. So I planted the box of cigarettes where, it's for the taking. Anybody that take it, they can have it because I don't want them. So he came around the corner talking to me, and I noticed he was holding that cigarette. And that cigarette from the cigarette box that I left over there, I'm like, oh, yeah, he must have took them cigarettes. So he's sitting there talking to me. And that's the dream. Nightmare. I'm going to say that's the nightmare. So, yeah, I cannot get myself up thinking about the one part that I said made me feel uncomfortable. So I kept thinking about that part, and I just would not move. I was like, I'm not stepping foot off this bed. I'm not getting up at all. I can't move thinking about it, and I don't know why it had that type of effect on me. Like, as if it was, like, real. Like, it happened. Like, it actually just happened. And, like, I'm just like, wow. So yeah, I had to get that off my chest. And that was my dream. That was my nightmare. And it wasn't a beautiful nightmare. Beyonce, I'm just playing. It was a nightmare. So yeah. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, be notified, and share at your own free will to show you care. Bye. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Be notified and share at your own free will to show you care.